Hello and welcome to this tutorial. I'm Dennis, the developer of RF Analyzer, and in this video I'm gonna explain the new bookmarking system I've added in version 2.2. It's quite a comprehensive feature, and this is not going to be a short video. However, if you just are interested in saving your favorite frequencies, then you don't have to stay for the whole video. I'm gonna explain this first, and for everybody who is interested in what cool features I've added, please stay until the end. Here I already found a nice station, it's a radio station, and I want to add a bookmark for it. So on the screen I have now multiple possible ways of doing this. On the demodulation tab here, there's a new button right next to the channel frequency, which is the favorite bookmark menu. So opening this will open this dialog showing all your bookmarks. There's two different kinds of bookmarks. There will be station bookmarks and band bookmarks, and currently I don't have any. But down here there are two buttons to add those. So let's add a new station with this button. Give it a name, and this is everything you have to enter. All the other information here is automatically filled from the demodulator. So this is your current channel frequency, your mode, bandwidth, and some other things you can add if you want, but you don't have to, and I'll talk about this later. So let's just save it, and the new bookmark here will show up. You can press on this to tune to this station. And you will also see here that it shows as a small label in the FFT. Let's change our settings and add another one. You can also use this button here. So if you, for example, don't have this menu here shown to have more real estate on the screen, this button will still be available to add new bookmarks, and you can also open up the favorite menu from here. So let's add another one. And now we have two. We can also tune to them by just clicking on them. And as you can see, the demodulation settings are automatically changing. So here I have the smaller bandwidth with the AM demodulation, and here I have the FM demodulation with the bigger bandwidth. So everything is automatically applied when you tune to a station. You can also long press on a bookmark here, on a bookmark label, and the card will appear on the bottom showing every information that is attached to this bookmark. And you have also a menu here to delete the bookmark. You could export it or edit it, create a copy and so on, but more on this later. Then there's also another kind of bookmark, which is the band bookmarks. Basically here you can add a portion of the frequency spectrum and declare it as a band. So let's say this is my test band. And as you can see, the start and end frequency are automatically set to the values which your screen is currently showing. So the left and right edge of the screen is entered here, and if you save this, the band will span the entire screen. So then you can scroll away, zoom out, or go somewhere completely different. And if you go into the favorite menu on the band bookmarks and you tune to it, your screen will automatically adjust to zoom in again on this band. So this is the simple usage, and now we can dive into the Bookmark Manager. The Bookmark Manager can be opened from this menu here, and it's an entire new screen of the app. On the first usage, it will show this dialog where you can import some default band plans. I've included those in the app. It's the amateur radio band plan for all three regions, so I'll choose region 1 because I'm located in Europe, and there's ISM, maritime and air band plans which I also want to import. So now I already have some different lists of bands and lists of stations, because all your bookmarks are managed inside lists. So for example here I'm on the list section of the manager. I can view all my lists. I can add new lists. Let's add a new list, list 1. And you can also edit those lists from here. So tapping this, you can edit it here. And for example, I forgot to choose a color. Let's apply a color here. Let's do something like this. And this will affect the label color in the screen. You can see what stations or what bands are in those lists by pressing this little arrow here. This will bring you to the other screen of the Bookmark Manager, the station screen or the band screen, depending on which list you click, and it will automatically apply a filter here. So this is your filter row. There are many different kinds of filters, and you can see you can filter for your lists, and those are the lists that are currently available. The default one, the one I've added, and some special lists I'm going to talk about just in a minute. Let's go back to the list screen and talk about those. So this is a special kind of list. The EiBi list, Pota, and Sota lists are online station lists, which cannot be used to add stations to them manually, but you download them from the internet. So clicking on this reveals the menu where you can manually download this list. The EiBi station database is basically a database of shortwave radio stations. It's quite huge, 8,000 entries I think, and it's really helpful if you want to find out to which radio signal you're currently listening to, or if you want to find those, because it has a lot of information attached. I'll show it to you. Then there's two other lists. There's Pota and Sota, which is Parks on the Air and Summits on the Air. Those are two ham radio programs where ham radio operators spot themselves when they transmit. So those get updated quite often, and so therefore I would recommend you to enable the automatic update here. If you press this button, you get a option to choose an interval. In this case, I'll choose, let's say, 20 seconds to update this list automatically from the internet, and also for the Summits on the Air. For the EiBi database, it also makes sense to maybe filter which of those channels are currently on the air, because most of them, if you click on one, have a schedule attached to them, and this filter will apply to the schedule. You can also search, and for example, if I press here to Toronto, oops. I can search via text. This will search through every field, so the language, the name obviously, but also the country, address, and so on. And yeah, there's some more things you can discover here. If the address is attached, or if there's coordinate attached, or a Maidenhead locator, then you can open up this bookmark in your Maps application, basically, which I also find quite cool, because now I'm here at the location where the sender should be, and sometimes if you look around, zoom in, here, you can actually find the transmitter side on Google Maps and find some interesting pictures of the transmitter. But let's go back into RF Analyzer. Let's continue by explaining how to tune to those bands. Press this button here to tune to it. And now your demodulation settings are automatically updated. And here we are now centered on the station. If I unmute, you hear that we have the station. And as you can already see, there's now quite a lot of different stations here. Sometimes labels do not fit on the screen. Then you will see such a mark here where there's 3 labels. And if you press it once, then all 3 are going to show up at the bottom here. And you can choose which one of those you want to apply the settings. Of course, they all have the same frequency because they're overlapping, but they might have different settings, so you can choose which one to apply. All right, I think now we have to talk about filtering those, because obviously maybe this is too much if you don't want to have this cluttered, and I thought about that too. So there's some more filtering. You can, if you want, apply the filters you have here onto the FT as well, but if you go to the settings, you can basically decide how to display those labels on the FT. You can choose to not display them at all. If you disable this option here and go back, then they are gone. You can add another filter here. For example, let's say I only want to show here stations that are currently on the air, and then go back. Then this looks a lot cleaner because now everything that's not currently transmitting is filtered away. You can also, if you'd like, might make sense, synchronize this filter with the list you have here, so that these filters are basically the same. For this, you just disable this option, then the extra filter here is going away, and now everything you have set here is also applied to the settings. So as you can see now, only China radio station is visible because I have a search filter for this. There are some other settings which might be interesting. Most importantly, I think, is the backup and restore, like import and export function. You should, if you have added a lot of bookmarks, definitely do a backup. So you can click this button here to write all your stations to a file. It's a JSON file. Let's just save it here. And then everything is saved. And then this option can be used to restore from a backup. But be aware that if you restore from a backup, everything you have currently in your database is going to be overwritten and gone. So it's highly recommended to first create a backup whenever you want to restore a database. You can also import stations from other programs or other uses of RF Analyzer, or if you have another device, press this button here. And for example, here I have the file from SDR++, the frequency manager config. I can import this. It will detect the format automatically and show you what lists have been found in this file and how many stations, how many bands, and you can choose how you want to import it. If you want to import those two lists like they are, or if you want to merge them into a single list, for example here, I could merge them into this new list. Or there's a third option, you just import those two lists but prefix them with some certain characters. For example, I could here do SDR PP. And now if I'm importing those, they are going to import it like this. And now one more thing, maybe you have already noticed that if I search here for my favorites, then only the stations I've added myself at the beginning have been added. If you add a station and you want it to show up in the favorite menu, you have to enable this favorite button here. If you do that from the main screen, it's all automatically pre-selected for you. And if you want to favorite such a station here, you can also do it. Just long press on it, favorite it here, and then it's favorited, and then it will also show up in your favorites. All right, and that was it. I hope you have fun with the new feature. Please let me know what you think. If anything is missing or if maybe any information is wrong, I can maybe try to fix that. And yeah, I'm definitely interested in your feedback and hope you can enjoy this new feature. Thank you and goodbye.